you translate God there in Hebrew, God here is Elohim. So Elohim was the one who created everything in Genesis 1. He was the one who said, let there be light, and there was light. He was the one in verse 26 who said, and God, translated Elohim, said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And Elohim blessed them and said, be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, have dominion. And in verse 29, Elohim also gave them every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to them it shall be for meat. So Elohim was the one who created everything in Genesis 1. When we go to Genesis 2, we see it says, thus the heavens and the earth were finished and all the host of them. And then on the seventh day, God, Elohim, ended his work which he had made. He ended his work and he rested. Then when you get to verse 4, you now have an introduction of Lord God, which translates to Yahweh Elohim. So now Yahweh Elohim is continuing. He said, these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created in the day the Lord Yahweh Elohim created them. So we already saw Elohim's moves. Now let's look at Yahweh and what he came to do. So Yahweh, in verse 7, we see the Lord God Yahweh formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed it into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So man was already created in Genesis 1:26 in the image of Elohim. What he is getting now in Genesis 2 from Yahweh is a physical nature, because we see Yahweh is forming. He's not creating him. He's forming him from the dust of the ground. So Yahweh now is the one that is manifesting into a physical nature everything Elohim created in the spirit in Genesis 1. Because Elohim is spirit. Everything he created was in spirit. He spoke and it was created.